Alright guys, I know it's been a while since I posted a video about the house, and as you may see, things look a lot different than they did in the last video. I got a couple of days last week to work, and I went to work and went at it and didn't really feel like getting the camera out, and knocked out the rest of the living room floor. This part is only laid out right now. None of this is glued or screwed, and none of these floor joists have insulation, and the insulation is still piled up here on the sides of the living room. Was just tired of walking around on floor joist and almost fell through a couple times, and wanted to go ahead and get that knocked out. I was tired of working on the floor, so at a later date we're gonna pull these panels back, put the insulation in, glue all the subflooring down and screw it down and make it permanent. I've just got it kind of temporarily installed right now, like I said, just so I have a nice safe environment to work on, walk around in. I don't know if I showed it in the video, I don't think I did. I put the outdoor outlet box back behind, actually on the move this out of the way. Actually, I'm going to move the camera real quick. So, like I was saying, I put the all-weather outdoor outlet box, mounted it to the brick pillar next to the sump pump. Didn't record any of this, but I do have some pictures I'll put up on screen. Put it there, put some weather-tight conduit from it into the rim joist, and then drilled and ran it up through the bottom plate of the wall. As you can see here, siliconed around it. Need to silicone again because it's not, it didn't completely fill all the gaps. Already got a nailer guard on it, but that's where we're going to run our power in to power the outlet for the sump pump. That outlet is not going to be a GFCI. It's supposed to by code, but here's what we're doing instead. Instead of putting a GFC outlet on it, where if it trips, I've got to crawl under the house to reset that for the sump pump. Instead, I went and got a regular outdoor water resistant rated outlet. We're going to put that in our all-weather outdoor enclosure box, and once that's in there, this is going to be a standalone circuit just for the sump pump. We're going to run it to the circuit, run to the breaker box, and it is going to have a GFCI circuit breaker. That way, if it trips, I can reset it from inside the house, from the circuit breaker, rather than having to crawl all the way into the house to that outlet and push the reset on the outlet itself. So that will be much better and much nicer, especially if it's raining and underneath there has got a lot of water in it from the sump pump being kicked off. What else? What else have I done? Let's move over here to this wall. So I went ahead and replaced this stud here beside the door. The old one was rotted there at the bottom where we had the rot originally around the front door. So that's all taken care of now. I'm probably going to replace the stud beside it as well. It's got a little bit of cracking there at the bottom, but I don't know if it's really worthy of replacing just for that. This one over here and the one beside it probably will be replaced because they're pretty severely split at the bottom and have some termite damage. That's why also when I replaced this one, it had termite damage halfway up near the door striker plate, as well as the rot at the bottom. I'll have a couple pictures of that to show you. Other than that, I worked on, sorry for this crazy up angle, but the way I've got my microphone right now, I really can't. Yeah, sorry about this crazy angle we got going on here. The way I've got my microphone run right now is kind of making it hard for me to raise my tripod up. Need to really work on my audio. But went ahead and took the old metal strapping electrical box, switch box down here. That was a 3-gang. That I don't need 3-gang there. I'm gonna have 2. I might put a 3 later, but Probably not. It just depends on how I set things up. But cleaned up this wiring immensely. It was really gross. It's still the original cloth wiring. I haven't replaced it with Romex yet. I'll do that when I do the new breaker box and rewire the house for a 200 amp service. But in the meantime, I went ahead and put a new non-conductive PVC 2-gang box in there. Put new modern switches in there. The switches that came out of this thing were original 1951 switches, which there was nothing really wrong with them, but they've been painted several times with lead-based paint and were gross looking and weren't that appealing. So got a new nice faceplate on there and switches, which that's going to come off, of course, when I go do the installation and drywalling. But just something to make it a little safer while I'm working in here, instead of having that cover off in that metal box. Since this is a 2-wired house and no grounds in the whole thing, I don't want to risk electrocuting myself. And I know there's still a chance with this setup, but at least I'm in a non-conductive box and got a faceplate over where the wires aren't exposed, and I've went ahead and wrapped them in electrical tape and just done a lot better install than what it was originally. So got that done, and on this is the living room light. The main overhead light in the living room is controlled off of this switch box. It is controlled off of another one going to the hallway and another one coming in from the kitchen dining room. So there is a 3-way switch here, 3-way switch at the dining room, and a 4-way switch at the to the right going towards the hallway. So originally it was wired where one switch had to be up at all time for it to be off, which I didn't particularly care for, so I swapped my wiring around when I did that and fixed it where now all 3 switches are off, the light's off, one turns on, it cuts on. So I like that much better than one being up. That's just my being OCD about stuff. But what else we got going on to update you? I went and looked at the old breaker box, which is the old stab lock box, which is scary in itself that it hadn't set fire. There is a this entire house is wired on 7 breakers, and that's kind of scary too. I did find out the house does not have 220 in it. It does have a washer and dryer and some bigger appliances, but when I looked at the dryer, I'd never really looked at it before. It's a 110 dryer. I did not realize that. The dryer is probably from the late 70s, early 80s, so hey, it still works. I don't know how well it works being a 110 dryer. I haven't tried it out, but yeah, so we're definitely going to be upgrading the service from 100 amp to 200 amp. We'll be getting into the wiring shortly. You can see I got lots of wiring supplies. I've got some a roll of Romex. I got a bunch of faceplates, new outlets, new non-conductive boxes, new switches, just a whole bunch of new components. Things are about to accelerate a little bit here since I've got a lot of the... Oh, I forgot to show you that real quick. Let's turn around. I've gone ahead and pulled out a lot more of the drywall. I need to pull the rest of it off of this exterior wall for when I re-insulate and run my new wiring. This entire wall here only has one electrical outlet, and that is not to code, and it's not going to work for me. The only outlet is that one there in the center. So we're going to put, I think, at least 3 on this wall, probably 2 on this other wall that has one, probably 2 on the other wall that only has one, and probably at least one on either side of the fireplace, because there's none on that wall. But yeah, electrical and insulation is about to get started in this room. Although I kind of need to slow myself down here. What my plan is for the electrical, so I'm not without power in this house for a long amount of time, is I plan to put all my 200 amp service components on the house right beside the 100 amp service. This is all tentative. I called the power company and they've got an engineer that's supposed to be meeting with me. Actually, they're supposed to call me yesterday or today. I haven't heard anything yet, so I don't know what the deal is with that. But they're supposed to come out and take a look and probably charge me an arm and leg to tell me, yeah, you need to go ahead and upgrade to 200 amp service. But anyway, plan is to put the new 200 amp meter box, weatherhead, power in to the house, the new circuit breaker box, put all of that in, install it, wire the entire house, have all the new switches and Romex and everything run to the new box. When that's all done, have the power company come out, disconnect the 100 amp service head and move it over to the 200 amp service head, and just be without power for 30 minutes to an hour or however long to finalize the last little bits. That's what I have in my head. What the engineer's going to tell me and what's actually going to happen, I don't know. So that would be nice to have it, all installed and ready and just swap the lines over. I think they got to come out and check the lines too, because I don't know if the lines to this house will carry 200. It might be that the lines need to be replaced. I don't know. Done a little bit of research on the subject, but I'm not an electrician, so I don't know. I do have a buddy that's a commercial electrician that will be helping me and giving me oversight as we go through this project, so I don't electrocute myself, burn the house down, hopefully. But next project, as much as I don't want to, is probably needing to be going into the master bedroom and doing this exact same thing, pulling the hardwood up, pulling the flooring, and replacing the rotted rim joist in there and the rotted floor joist. I really don't want to go back in working flooring, but I gotta do it, and I really need to do that first before I get real deep in doing insulation and drywalling and all the electrical in here and moving to the next room and the next room. I have figured out how I'm going to fix my floor plan. I'm going to try to have something on the screen to show you guys what I'm talking about, other than you just staring at this studded wall and me talking behind the camera. But what I plan to do is I'm going to wall off the door to the back bedroom, that back den that is going towards the back door, that little foyer back there. I'm going to wall that off. And then what I'm going to do is build a hallway down the length of the house through the middle on the opposite side of the wall with the fireplace. The closet that's in that back den, the furnace room, and all of that, we're going to knock that out, build the wall to the very back of the chimney, which I believe the sliding door, big closet that's in that back bedroom / den is right up against the chimney, and it's probably at the right spacing to be behind it. So I'm going to make a solid wall in line with that, in line with the chimney, all the way from the kitchen all the way back to this hallway here. Then what I'm going to do is go, what is it, 30, I think it's 34 inches or 40 inches, whatever the standard width of a hallway is for an American home. I looked it up the other day. I can't recall off the top of my head, but I've already taken my measurements. Then I'm going to build another wall the entire length on the other side, and it's only going to cut into that back den, back bedroom by about, I think it was like 1.5 feet, maybe 2 foot, but that back bedroom den is going to be a very reasonably sized bedroom still, losing that little bit of space. And then we'll fix the doorway. I think the wall actually goes through the middle of that doorway, so we're going to wall that up, fix that. That closet that's there in the hallway between the den and the second bedroom, we're going to wall that up as well. That space is going to be knocked into that bedroom for the closet for that bedroom. That bedroom will have a door in the middle of the hallway that will open into the hallway. So you'll open the door, go into the bedroom, and then the window will be straight ahead of you, essentially. Moving on to the end of that hallway, that runs into the utility room where the washer dryer and that deep freeze are, and the attic stairwell that comes down, and the old furnace room. What I plan to do there is knock the wall out, the little half wall doorway between the utility room and that rear foyer. I hope that's the right word, probably not. The little area that the back door encompasses, and move my panel, my breaker box is right above the washer and dryer, just inside of the utility room. I plan to just move them down, have the washer and dryer right beside the back door, so it'll be right there in that corner where that little table was, and walling off that doorway will be about where the middle of the washer and dryer sit. Plan to put the breaker box behind the washer dryer there on the wall near the edge of the house. Like I said, knock that stub wall out, put some tile down there, and that'll be like a mudroom entry area at the back door where the washer and dryer are and the utility. Probably put the hot water heater back there, since if I do a conventional, I'm probably going to do a tankless. I'm not exactly sure yet which way I'm gonna go and where I'm gonna put it. But that'll be that. Then I plan to open up that very narrow galley style kitchen. I'm going to knock out the wall between where the utility and the kitchen are and make that where the quote-unquote dining area of the kitchen, that corner table, expand that out into the former utility room around that hallway. And then we will be taking and walling up the edge of the hallway across the access of the furnace room, and that furnace room will become a second bathroom that will basically be behind, I think it's right behind this wall, part of the dining room and the kitchen. So that will be the second bathroom. Plans for the bedroom, I've figured out what I'm going to do here. The doorway to the only bathroom in the house right now, and that's actually the old mantelpiece and my trim and insulation. But anyway, what we're going to do here is we're going to wall off this door to the bathroom. I'm going to take the existing closet in the master bedroom, and it has been basically rendered useless because the air intake for the central heating and air is actually cut in the wall right here, and that goes into a box that takes up about 50% of that old small closet that was in the bedroom. So we're going to take all that out since we're taking the central heating and air out, and that will be knocked out into the bathroom as your entry into this bathroom that will be attached to that master bedroom. Probably going to take out this gigantic linen closet here that takes up a lot of space in this small bathroom, and we're probably going to take out the big cast iron bathtub shower combo, and also fix the fact that this wall comes in so far. I know there's a little bit of it there that's housing the closet, but all of that is not housing the closet. So what we're going to do is put a shower, stand-up shower stall tiled in the corner where that bathtub is. Where the sink and toilet are will probably be unchanged. Probably put a bigger vanity in there instead of just the freestanding old cast iron sink. And probably put a smaller little closet here on this side instead of that massive one that protrudes so far into the bathroom. But that's the plan for that. As far as that second bedroom, there's not much I'm going to do to change it. The only thing I think I'm going to do is take the two closets and consolidate them into one closet. Other than that, I think that's basically all I'm doing, changing the floor plan, and that should like alleviate a lot of the issues of this house and a lot of the craziness and how it doesn't work. The layout's just horrible as is. But yeah, that's the plans in the future. And got you caught up a little bit about the work I've done off camera. Sorry about not recording that stuff, but like I said, I got started on it, and I got on a roll and didn't think about setting up stuff. I was just ready to hammer it out and be done. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and end this little update video right here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.